Alright, I'm going to do a clutch plate change on a Suzuki VS800 Intruder. This is a 2001 Intruder. I have never seen a video on YouTube for an Intruder, so I'm going to try to make one. First thing we're going to do is drain the oil, put the plug back in. Do not fill the oil back up. So this is an EBC clutch kit that I have, and these are the plates. They suggest soaking these plates right here with the compound on it in oil for at least 20 minutes. So I'm going to put those in the oil before I even begin. So I have a Vesra and EBC spring kit, and look at the difference. That is an EBC spring, that is a Vesra. Look at the height difference. They both feel strong, but I'm going to put the larger one in because that'll definitely be a harder spring to push in and give better engagement on the clutch. So I'm going to go with the Vesra, and I'll have a backup set of EBCs. Okay, so one of the first things you have to do is remove this foot peg bracket, which goes under the bike, comes up on the other side. If you have a stock bike, you have to remove the brake pedals, and it can be a pain in the ass. I have forward control, so all I have to do is take that thing off and lower it so I can get at the bottom bolts of the crankcase. There are 8 bolts holding that bracket on. The 2 on the outside each have cotter pins, so you're going to have to get down there and pull those cotter pins out before you do it. You need a 6mm hex wrench to take them out. I'm going to take them out right now. Okay, now to do this, I had to put the bike front wheel into a corner and lean the bike up against a wall without the kickstand, because the kickstand is attached to that bracket underneath as well. So I have this leaned against the wall in gear so it won't move. The wheel turned into the corner, and I have bricks holding the back tire, as you can see there, and the front tire. That bike's not going anywhere. And so now I'm going to get down and unloosen those bolts. Okay, so as you now see, I have this bracket down right here and off. Next I have to loosen the exhaust from here to be able to drop it down, and one bolt here. Also had to do one bolt for this brake cover tube right here to bring that down. Alright, as you can see, I pulled the exhaust, lowered the clamp. Allow my exhaust is all one piece basically. I can get at these bolts and do the clutch job. That's that. This is a brand new gasket, which you're going to have to put around here. Now, there's 13 different size bolts. So a trick I learned was to trace that gasket right there, and as you take these bolts out, put it in each slot here, so you know exactly which one you are when you're putting it back, because they're all different size. That's the next job. So I got the bolts off here. There's the bolts all stuck into the drawing of the gasket. I will clean these up a little bit. The bottom ones, of course, as you can imagine, are grimy, but I will clean these all up. Next is the important step. You need to have a rubber hammer and give this outside casing a tap all around before you try to pull it off. Now we're going to pry it off. Okay, the gasket did not come off cleanly, so good thing I have a new gasket. We'll have to clean this and scrape the rest of this off. Alright, there she is, ready to have the clutch springs taken out. So these 4 bolts right here are the clutch springs. 2, there's only 4 of them, so I really didn't worry about going in the star pattern. I don't think it matters taking it off as much as it does as putting it on. So. Alright, so let's pull off the pressure plate and be careful because there's a bearing behind there. Well, the bearing actually stayed on right here, which is very good. That makes it easy. Sometimes the bearing comes off and gets stuck in here, but we can leave it here while we're changing the plates out. So everything here looks in pretty dang good shape so far. Clean. I do have new springs and new bolts. They say it's a good thing to get new bolts. So I do have new bolts and I'm going to torque them down. Save these for extras in case they snap. Alright, we'll be back to pull those off. Alright, so now I'm going to pull the discs out of the clutch hub here, and I'm going to take them out in order and hang them on the back peg here, which I put a plastic bag over. And I'm going to try to keep them in the exact order we pull it out. Discs right here, all soaked in oil, the metal rings. First thing is, inside there are 2 small rings that are in here before the plates go on. One is flat and the other is beveled at an angle. Just make sure that those are in and looking pretty good and sitting tight, and we're ready to do it. So the first disc to go in is a friction disc, and the first one also is shaped differently. You can notice the teeth are smaller. So don't think it really matters which way it goes in. So here it goes. Oh, I ain't as nimble as I used to be. Okay, so on these metal discs, as every video has shown, there's a side where the edges here are kind of rounded off on these sprockets, and then the other side is flat. They always put flat side out, is what I have seen. So there's that one. Doesn't really matter which way you put it, just make sure that they're all facing the same way. So I'm going with a flat side out. Alright, time to put in the new springs and tension plate screws. These are the new Vesra springs. Alright, so here's the shell with the new gasket on it. I put some gasket sealer on the back side of this and then waited until it got tacky and stuck the gasket on. And now I'm going to put a little gasket around, sealer around that edge, and then put this back together. So here she is in all the glory. Everything. Okay, so I started her up. She's been warming up. Put cardboard underneath just to make sure we got no leaks. Sounding really good. Purring like a kitten. So we're gonna take it for a test ride. Only thing that sucks is a break-in period for the clutch, so I gotta go easy. But that's it, folks. Good luck.